There is a big link between nicotine consumption and erectile dysfunction.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. You like
Okay, I'm
just
throwing
Google
it
like
right away.
Zin users.
Because these guys make like insane LTV.
Yeah, yeah. Once you're addicted,
Yeah,
you're
it's
the
like, and
customer for life.
this is the one that you do,
Yes.
and then you put it like
Yes.
this somewhere.
Yep.
What you will do is you will step out and like buy a gum, one single gum
I
with
don't
your
think that's
friend.
gonna work. With a cigarette or a vape, you're like maybe passing it together and sharing one. So there's like some social element. You're not like sharing. That'd be fucking weird. You know what I mean? Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. After umpteenth time, we are finally recording.
Yes, yes. We've had a bunch of issues this
Technical issues.
afternoon while trying to record, and that's actually a great segue into our next topic. So, Shobhit, did you try to leave the house this off like 2 3 hours ago? Did you
E-
were you around anywhere?
yeah, I went to filter coffee.
Okay, and how was that? Oh, you pay in cash, right?
That's right. I save
So,
1 rupee, motherfucker.
do you want to explain people about your hack for those who don't follow your Twitter?
Okay, so the what we are talking about is there's a place called the Filter Coffee where I frequently visit, and I have a fixed order. I ask for single vada, single idli, single vada, one filter coffee, and it all comes to like 191 rupees. Before like proper South Indians, come to me with their pitchforks. I know it's expensive, but just bear with me.
Hey, coming from Delhi and Carnatic Cafe, that seems reasonably priced.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I it's 191, and if you pay via UPI, you end up paying 191. What I do is I pay 200 rupees cash, and they give me rupees 10 back. So ergo, I save 1 rupee.
What about the interest you're not earning from those 200 rupees sitting in your bank account for a bit?
Yeah, we don't have a high interest,
What are you talking
high
about? Isn't it like 4 5%?
4-5%, but in INR, not USD, no.
Yeah, yeah.
So for if you have 4-5% in USD, your inflation is not very high, so that it actually makes sense to sort
Yeah,
of keep
yeah.
it. Not in India though.
Unlike you, I went out to go grab coffee in the morning,
Hmm.
and usually I always try paying my US cards, and for some reason their POS didn't accept American Express, so that was issue number one. Then I tried using UPI, which is always my de facto fallback, and for most cases like de facto, and even UPI was down, and I had to resort to using my debit card and putting a pin, and it was a frustrating experience. And then I went home and I found out that UPI has been down for the last 20 minutes. Like, did you see or like see this at all, or like you didn't encounter it at all?
No, so I saw it on Twitter,
Okay.
obviously,
Yeah.
and you had texted that this is not working for you and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the extent of it. I tried sending money to my mom,
Yeah.
and it says it's sent, but my mom has
Okay.
not received it yet.
Okay, so maybe you were kind of one of the lucky folks whose transaction went through. But I think for me, the outage started around like 12:20, and
Hmm.
now around like 2:30, everything is up and running again. But probably like around noon, like UPI went down or some shit happened, and this is not the first outage in a while. There's been like several of these smaller outages over the last 2 weeks. There was an outage on March 26th. There was a outage on April 2nd. So UPI has been crapping the bed for a minute.
Pick the
I mean, like this is like
pissing in the bed.
yeah, it shows like how dependent we are on this singular payment system, because I mean I'm sure like the larger stores are gonna accept your cards and other modes of payments, but if you're taking a rickshaw somewhere and you no longer carry cash, like how are you gonna pay the guy now? Like you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like when I read the news, I was like, what is the SLA that they offer and all those things. I tried to figure out. Turns out there's no.
Yeah,
Or maybe I couldn't figure out whether they actually offer an SLA or not. It's just
I don't think they do.
we will just try to keep it
Yeah,
up, buddy.
yeah. But okay, let me. What do you think was UPS total uptime over the last 12 months in terms of like how many nines?
Yeah, so I have that data. I
Oh,
went
you
through that data.
okay?
So from what I can see,
Yeah,
um, so in we have data till March only. So this is April that we are recording, 12th of April. We don't have data for 12th of April, and today is when it went down.
yeah,
Banks frequently go down. So that data we don't have whether a bank's let's say UPI node was down, but I'm talking about UPI as a network being
yep,
down. So in March, there was 95 minutes of unscheduled downtime,
yep,
which is 99.79. So not even a like just two nines
yeah,
essentially,
yeah,
right? It's very bad. Like I mean, you would cut off your relations with AWS if they would
yeah,
offer you
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Now, as per them, there was no outage. I think till August, and then in July, there was an outage of 207 minutes,
Damn, that's a long. That's three
more
hours.
than 3 hours, more than three and a half hours essentially.
Yeah,
210 is 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours of downtime, and it's 99.54% uptime, which is
yeah,
again very bad.
yeah.
And if you go even further back, I think for the previous fiscal year, I think there was no other downtime. So
Okay.
from
Yeah. So I
April to March,
yeah I
we've
did
had
like
three
kind of the
consecutive.
math over the last 12 months, and it seems like there's only three nines for like the last 12 months of unscheduled downtime. So from April last year to March this year, the uptime was 99.94%, which is terrible.
Okay, for listeners who
Yes.
are not in engineering.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll to put this in context. Let me ask you, what do you think Visa's uptime is?
Okay, firstly, define what are nines.
So if you look at uptime from like if something's up like all the time, that's 100%. That is almost physically not
Impossible.
possible.
Yeah.
So a nine refers to what digit the last nine occurs in. So if
How
it
many significant digits
yeah
are
exactly.
nine consecutively? So 99.991% means four nines.
Yes.
Yeah.
90% means one nine, 99% means two nines, 99.9 means three nines,
Hmm.
and so forth. So
Yeah.
guess how many nines Visa has?
Huh. I think five is a
Six.
six.
Yeah,
My God.
yeah, yeah.
UPI has
UPI has three. So
three.
that means that's like it is 1,000 times more likely to go down? Or like
Sort
is
of.
that the math? Yeah, well,
Sort
yeah.
of. Okay, so not more
Well,
likely. The
yeah,
amount of downtime was probably
yeah, yeah,
higher.
yeah. And
So
okay, yeah, go ahead.
you said six nines, right? So
Yeah.
that's 99.9999.
Yep.
999999. Huh. Six nines, right?
That means it has a second of downtime a year.
31 seconds of downtime.
Okay. Per year.
99.99. Yeah, per year. That's 31 seconds of downtime.
Yeah.
Not even a minute. Half a minute of downtime in a year.
That's like
That's
two
4
and a half
months.
seconds of downtime a month.
Yeah. And if you do three nines, which we have essentially, that's 31,000 seconds.
So that's terrible. And like I was just trying to do some rough math on like how much value like we've lost from like UPI being down for 2 hours today. I don't know at what point in a day do transactions peak and narrow. So I assumed between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. there's a steady state of transactions. If that is the case, over 2 hours, you would have about 78 million UPI transactions per last month's data, which is 10,500 crores worth of UPI transactions. So that's the loss to our economy for 2 hours of UPI outage. Obviously, some of that will get then captured in card payments or cash, but it
You can
means like
probably assume 50% is lost.
I would say even higher. Like if you're
Okay.
making an online transaction, UPI is not working, you're like, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. By the way, this thing is unscheduled maintenance.
Yeah, yeah,
So there is a window obviously for a scheduled maintenance as well. I'm guessing like they do it like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. So the
yeah,
loss is minimal,
yeah,
but still there is some loss that is there as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
So overall, if you take the whole this thing, the number of nines would be three obviously, but like still a lower three than a higher three.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, this is not something that we need to. We should ideally. We need to be wary of this
yeah,
is not
yeah.
something we can move forward with, but yeah.
I mean, I think the other kind of under like major thing in this ecosystem is that typically the government pays providers within the UPI ecosystem some sort of what is it called, subsidy to maintain and operate on the UPI ecosystem, because currently there's no real way for financial institutions to make money on UPI. So, but that has also been decreasing year over year. So, a couple of years ago, it was 3,600 crores. I think last year was 1,500 crores. This year, it's going to be even lower. So, it just shows that the government is also no longer like paying people in this UPI ecosystem to maintain the cost of the infrastructure for UPI. And hopefully, we're going to introduce MDR at some point so these institutions can make some money from the network to alleviate the cost for this growing ecosystem, because it's not like the number of UPI transactions are slowing down, but it's kind of becoming a single point of failure for our digital economy. And
Yeah,
I don't know what we're going to do about it.
yeah, that's why we need to have some sort of diversity in our payment modes.
Yeah. I mean, there was that whole like NPCI. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, they had put out tenders for, I think, something called like NPU or something, where multiple organizations should come together to build alternatives to UPI.
Hmm. I know e-rupee was something, and what happened to it, I have zero clue.
Yeah. No, not e-rupee, something else.
Even UPI was, sorry, RuPay was supposed to be like a network that is obviously not working on UPI, but then they've connected both. So now I don't really use my RuPay card. I just use it over my
Yeah.
UPI. And if UPI, the network is down, the RuPay card payment also doesn't go through. I think.
No, no,
Uh,
no. Like the rupee card transaction will go through.
no, but I'm paying via my Paytm app or
Yeah, yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. That doesn't go through.
yeah,
I need
yeah,
to carry the card, then that will go through.
yeah, yeah. And I think like, I mean, that's also kind of a reason behind that is like the government or like NPCI is really trying to push credit on UPI as well, and they're doing that primarily through RuPay. And
Hmm.
so I think they've like we've intertwined RuPay and UPI a lot as well, to a point where this is becoming like a bigger and bigger single point failure.
Yeah.
And I
I
don't know
think
what we're gonna. I don't know if we're like if there are any short term solutions. It might just be a lot of pain for the next couple of months, years. I have no clue.
we don't even know what happened, right? Like it's just something that has
Yeah,
happened.
I
So,
mean, it seems
how
like it's technical failures and some part of some like I don't even know how many engineers NPCI has, and like how what their SRE team looks like and how they manage incidents like this.
they've put out a tweet. NPCI is currently facing intermittent technical issues leading to partial UPI transaction declines. Partial. We are working to resolve the issue and will keep you updated. We regret the inconvenience caused. That's it.
So yeah. Well, I mean, like I wouldn't expect them to put out the cause. I mean, I assume they don't even know the cause right now.
I hope they do.
I mean I hope they do too, but I don't think they like I don't think they'd put it up until they do like a full investigation internally and then put out like a redacted RCA or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they will do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's too much of an expectation.
I mean, if it's so critical to our country and economy and people, like, shouldn't we know why shit breaks?
It's a private entity at the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
day,
yeah, it
so
is. Yeah,
I don't know if they. I think they will share it with the banks, maybe. Uh,
I would hope so. I
but
mean,
will they
they,
share it with the public?
yeah. I mean, maybe it's worth doing like a RTI against a PCI.
They don't come under the purview of
They
RTI.
don't. They
That's
don't. Have
yeah,
you tried filing an RTI for?
not for them, but I have filed RTI a couple of times when I was
Okay.
in. It was very easy. There was a website called Online RTI or something, and
Okay.
I just paid
Check
like
it out.
it was maybe 35 rupees or something. I just paid and filed an RTI, pointless RTI. But a lot of my friends, though, have when they were registering for their GST and the number
Yeah.
wouldn't would they would be stuck. They would file an RTI to get the status,
Okay.
and that is how they will get the status. Their theory was that this will pressurize the people to sort of move their files, but I think it does more harm than good. So that's tweet. The we regret the inconvenience caused to it. There's a funny reply to it. The guy goes, "Give refund for embarrassment
Oh
cost."
my god. Imagine you're like now that UPI works internationally, you're like standing in like Singapore trying to pay for something and nothing's working and you're like, what the fuck? I saw a funny tweet where like one of these, you know how there's a lot of people in India who report on इस मूवी की इतनी sales हुई है and like box
Yeah,
office
yeah.
projection. I saw some guy was like, oh, book my show sales are way down today and what is happening in the movie industry. And then like I like click on his account and see a quote tweet. I was like, oh, UPI is down, so sales are down. I was like, shit, it's we're done for, we're cooked.
They're anyway not getting any sales, and then UPI down on top of that.
Hey, no, people are going to watch movies. What are you talking about?
Which movie?
All of the movies.
No,
Yeah.
they're like bombing. Okay, which one did you watch last Bollywood movie?
Which Bollywood? Okay, let me pull up the District app. Hashtag not sponsored.
I think it's Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani,
No,
right?
no,
Like,
no. Dude, I go watch a movie at the theater at least once a week.
come on,
Yeah.
stop lying.
I watched The Diplomat on March 27th.
Are not English?
The
Bollywood.
Diplomat, John Abraham.
Oh, there's a movie. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And oh, actually, no, I watched Superboys of Malegaon on March 29th.
That's pretty late though
What?
for the movie. No,
I mean, yeah. And then I
for some
saw,
for somebody who claims that they go for a movie every week.
I'll tell you, I've seen my last couple of movies Superboys of Malegaon, The Diplomat, Mickey 17, मेरे हस्बैंड की बीवी, लव यापा,
What
and Ramayana the Legend of Prince Ram, the animated version.
you're saying? These are movies that have come this year.
These are all between February and March.
What? What? Which movies are these? Like Love Yapado was a very old movie, right? Like that Cho Gada Tara, that movie.
No, no, no. LOVE Yapa Yapa. You haven't seen that? Junaid Khan and Khushi Kapoor.
No idea, man. Oh, this is the one where this Kullu was.
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh, I've seen the trailer. Yes.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Oh, you went to watch that movie,
Yeah.
bro?
I
Why?
enjoy watching shitty Bollywood movies in theater. I saw मेरे husband की बीवी with Arjun Kapoor, Bhumi Pednekar, and Rakul Preet Singh.
I honestly would have heard the title and been like, this is some blue grade shit.
It was. Uh,
I think the only movies that I have considered going to were the re-releases. Like there's a re-release of Andaz Apna Apna happening. I considered, then I was like, it's such a slow movie for today that I don't think I can spend 3 hours
no,
there.
I think you can. Like I saw multiple rewatches last year, like Kal Ho Na Ho, Rockstar, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani.
I don't even remember when was the last time I watched a movie without pausing it. Okay, let's get
Which one?
back to the topics at hand. Ka- I think the next thing you're going to talk about is a business idea which is
It's
morally bankrupt.
okay. I wouldn't say it's morally bankrupt. I will say it is not something that's very easy to execute. Probably requires a lot of capital, both actual capital and maybe some amount of political capital because a lot of people are going to come after you. Uh, but Shobit, do
Hmm.
you know what Kenny and Gutka are?
Yeah.
Okay,
So Kenny is basically, it's sort of like tobacco,
it is
but
tobacco.
oh, it is tobacco.
It is
Okay,
tobacco.
it's flavored tobacco if I'm not wrong.
It is
And
flavored dried
this
tobacco.
this is the one that you do,
Yes.
and then you put it like
Yes.
this somewhere.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So it is like you also call it like chewing tobacco or like oral tobacco. India is one of the highest consumers of this form of tobacco. It's also called smokeless tobacco because in a
yeah.
lot of the part of the world you smoke cigarettes.
Hmm.
Um, but it is also the reason why we have a lot of oral cancer in this country. Did you know we are the highest, like India has the highest number of oral cancer cases, which is not like surprising given our population, but also by a per capita basis we have the highest number of oral cancer patients, and 90% of oral cancer in the country is directly linked to smokeless tobacco.
Then why does Akshay Kumar come and speak about smoking? It's like करने से कुछ नहीं होता. Have you seen that ad
No, this is
in the?
smokeless.
I know
Yeah.
he talks about smoking.
Yeah.
If 90% are because of this thing, not because of
No, this is
smoking.
oral cancer. Lung
हाँ, तो,
cancer is different, na?
but we are leading in oral cancer, not
We are
lung
also
cancer. I
leading one in lung cancer. It's not like we're far behind them.
ah.
I think it's
Okay,
something like 23% of deaths in India are linked to tobacco in some form.
23.
Okay, sorry, no, sorry. 29% of India's adult population are tobacco users.
Okay, very different. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Research indicates that nearly 23.7% of deaths among men and 5.7% of deaths among women aged 35 to 69 are due to tobacco attributable illnesses. BDs and smokeless tobacco are kind of the biggest causes here. Um, Oral cancer can also happen because of cigarette smoking. You can have tuberculosis, you can have all these really bad diseases by smoking tobacco and by consuming smokeless tobacco. So, the alternative, what is the key ingredient in tobacco that makes tobacco addictive?
Nicotine.
Yes. Negative. And so in America, you've had this huge wave of several kinds of tobacco free products that still contain nicotine to give people their daily hit of nicotine because apparently going cold turkey on smoking is very, very hard for people who have like been smoking a pack a day or consume a lot of gutka or consume a lot of Khaini. In India, there's also like a slightly okay. Let's kind of go on a little bit of a tangent first. So there's slightly cleaner version of Kenny, which is filtered Kenny,
Mhm.
which you might have heard of this very popular company called Chenny Kenny.
Yeah, I've heard of Chenny Chenny.
Well, Chenny Kenny is the brand name. Their
Okay.
tagline is Chenny Chenny, and they also make like mouth fresheners, and they used to make chai at one point, and like used to run like ads for the chai.
Was it tobacco tea?
No, just normal chai,
Like
like
Tata tea?
Tata Tea, like Taj Mahal, like Red Label. But it was like that. Their tagline, na like Chenny Chenny Chen se mazalo. But
Right.
it was advertising tea, but directly reminding users of the tobacco product.
Surrogate advertising, essentially.
Exactly. And so Chenny Kenny is like it has flavored chewing tobacco, but in a pouch that you put underneath your lip. So it's a little better for you. I haven't figured out how much better for you it is than like just slapping tobacco there, because I couldn't find any research reports on like what oral cancer incident rates are and so forth. But in America, we've had a similar form of product that's gone really viral over the last like 5 6 years, where you are putting nicotine patches. So instead of putting tobacco patches underneath your lip, you put nicotine patches, and the most popular company is this one called Zin, and all the kids are like Gen Z college kids. They're all like zinning all the time, all the day. They've been called zinfluencers because you can't like advertise nicotine because of the whole like Juul and vape movement in America. But you do a lot of kids just post about it, so like they don't have to like pay for advertising necessarily. So my idea is someone should build like a Chenny Kenny kind of product, but remove the tobacco for nicotine and build this for like mass market India 2, India 3 people who are like buying like Chenny Kenny, you get like 10 pouches for like 20 rupees. So you need to build a product at that price point and like sell it at like small kirana stores in the long tail of India. What do you
Damn,
think?
that's a very big order though.
It is a very big order.
Maybe, but why not go the D2C route here? Do you think like the Gen Z, the 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 affluent class won't have it?
So, like right now, I think amongst the affluent class, like vaping is cool. Yeah. And vaping in America became uncool because when COVID hit, a lot of people were like, oh, like smoking is and having like smoking might increase my risk to COVID because it's a respiratory disease. So you saw this huge wave of people stopped juuling, and these kids were still heavily addicted to nicotine. So they were just looking for other forms of nicotine. Like the gum versions have never worked as like a cool product, but Zin kind of became really popular in this era. And like there used to be like social posts on Instagram going viral of people like like showing the Zin pouch underneath their lip, and that's kind of how it built momentum on college campuses and went viral. In India, there's nothing that is making vaping uncool. So I don't know how you're gonna make the nicotine pouch movement really like viral, because you can't. I don't think you can sell nicotine online. I
You
could be
can.
wrong. You can?
I bought
Oh, you bought that
this
one. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nicotex.
yeah, yeah,
I bought this online on Blinkit.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I guess maybe there's something around it being like a health product, because I haven't like you can't buy vapes online in India. Well, vapes are illegal here.
Vapes are illegal completely,
Yeah, yeah.
but so the thing is, I think anything related to tobacco, maybe you can't sell online.
No,
So
but you can buy cigarettes on Blinkit.
no.
Yeah,
Oh right, you can. It's
yeah.
not on Play Store though.
It's not on
Correct.
Play Store. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
So if cigarettes can be sold, then nicotine is like
Sure.
much
I
easier.
guess. I guess like you can. But there is nothing making like nicotine pouch as a like it's gonna be a new form of nicotine consumed by these people, because Zin hasn't become popular enough in India yet. Like
Okay, so
maybe 4 5 years.
if you were to sell to me
Yeah,
nicotine pouch
yeah.
and you make your case for why I should use nicotine pouch and quit vaping or smoking.
I don't want to do that. It's
No,
gonna be
but
very hard for me to do that.
okay. So you're saying who do you want to sell it to then?
People who are having Chenny Kenny,
Okay, what's the case for them?
they're not gonna get cancer anymore.
Uh, is that a big deal? I think
I
people
think
don't.
it's I think it's a pretty big deal of not getting cancer and dying. No,
No.
if you're able to sell the same flavored product at the
Hmm.
same price point, that
Hmm.
is 100 times better than your health. And maybe you can like do a bit more on the flavor and make it taste, but like maybe you can make a pan flavored nicotine pouch, or you can
Hmm.
make a cola flavored nicotine pouch. I don't know what like India to like. I think pan flavored or mouth freshener flavored nicotine pouches would crush Cheney Kenny.
Okay, but why do you think something there has been a breakthrough because of which we can have the same cost as Jenny,
I have no
as
clue. I have
Kenny?
no clue how much this costs.
Yeah, so Kenny
So
is really really cheap to
yeah, yeah,
manufacture,
yeah.
and
But
nicotine is not. That's the main problem is the economics of it. Like the people who are using Kenny. So
yeah,
have you ever like chat had a chat with somebody who is using around why do they do it and all?
no, I did not.
Yeah, so I had a chat. At least I've had like 3 or 4 times. I've had a chat with people.
Yep,
Uh, Somebody in my extended family also sort of used to take. So I was wondering what's going on. The reason why a lot of times they do is because they don't have any other stimulation in
yep,
their work or
yep,
environment,
yep,
and they're looking for a stimulation.
yep.
It's like me drinking sugar water because I'm bored, or like just to get something. People having alcohol, for example, is a stimulation, right? So similarly, they're like, this is like a very cheap stimulation. If they were to smoke a cigarette would be 16 rupees, something I don't know, right? Like
Yeah,
17, 18, 16, some number,
yeah,
right? And BD comes to about I think 5 rupees or something. And Kenny is like 1 rupee or like maybe 50 paise.
yeah. So
That's
I mean, I like went to a Panwadi just to like see how much it costs. So you get a pack of 10 for 20 rupees.
okay, 2 rupees per pack,
Yeah, and
right?
maybe like if you buy an unbranded one, it's one
Cheaper.
rupee a pack and cheaper.
Yeah. That is the problem with this specific thing. That's why I'm saying, if you have to sell gum, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
nicotine gum
no, nicotine gum is very expensive.
or nicotine pouch
Yeah,
is cheaper.
yeah. I assume you can make it cheaper.
What is a pouch like?
No, same. It looks same as the Chenny Kenny pouch.
Oh, you open it like that.
No, no, no. Like it's like a filtered pouch that you put underneath your lip.
Oh, okay, okay.
So each
Got
pouch
it.
has about 4 to 8 milligrams of nicotine
Hmm.
that you absorb through your gums
Hmm.
by
Okay, got
placing
it.
it underneath your lip.
I
So I
think,
agree. You have to make it just as cheap, if
yeah,
not cheaper than Chenny Kenny. That is a
correct.
non-negotiable. I'm not
That's nice.
disagreeing that.
Yeah,
I don't know how much it costs to manufacture it. I'm saying
yeah.
maybe you can do it.
So I think directionally you are in the right direction.
Yes.
Maybe the product is not the right one. Maybe the packaging is not right one.
No, no,
I
no. I
think.
think I think this is the right product and packaging because
Hmm.
it is exactly the same as Chenny Kenny.
I mean, if you can get the pricing, sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's where the whole this thing sort of falls, because like literally what they do is they have to just pluck the flower, the leaves, crush it, and sort of they are done. They just add
yeah.
some
Well,
flavor.
I'm not trying to compete with like real Kenny because that is maybe
Okay.
like trying to convince someone to go from that to nicotine directly is maybe a step too far.
Yeah.
But going after people who consume filtered Kenny, which is also a big market. I don't know
Got
how
it.
big because these companies, I can't find the revenue numbers. But
And MCA
uh,
is always down.
yeah, yeah. That is a simpler move because it's the same product, just without oral cancer.
Yeah, makes sense. I think not just that. I think even Nicotex, for example, right? I'm not really happy with Nicotex.
Well,
If
you
there were,
you were never a nicotine consumer.
but I want to
Why do you
consume
want to be
nicotine.
a nicotine consumer?
Why do you want to be a coffee consumer? Like same thing.
To wake up in the morning.
Yeah, stimulation, some sort of stimulation. I
Yeah.
don't get any stimulation
Okay.
unless I have some sugar or ice cream. Again, that's
Okay. Okay.
obviously not good.
Well, you
um,
you might be a good possible user for Zin then.
Correct, correct. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe the direction. that this probably wants needs to go is nicotine gum, for example,
Yeah,
was about $80 million market in India.
yeah, yeah,
2023 is
yep,
what I had read,
yeah,
uh, and it's growing 10% or so.
yep,
Uh, so I think there's like a decent business to be made building like a nicotine gum brand in India as well,
yep.
because these things will. The good thing about these is like these things are very social in nature. Like cigarette, for example, you're not having alone. You have with a friend,
Yeah, yeah,
and
but like gum and zin is not really like social, if you see what I mean. Like
I get what you're
you're not gonna
saying.
like step out at work to go on a zin break
Why not?
because like
You
you are like with a cigarette or a vape, you're like passing maybe passing it together and sharing one, so there's like some social element. You're not like sharing a, that'd be fucking weird. You know what I mean?
no, I think what you will do is you will step out and like buy a gum, one single gum
I
with
don't
your
think that's
friend.
gonna work.
No,
No, no.
okay. Am I the only one who goes out and like has like a chocolate or a chewing gum with a friend? It's
Yes, I have never.
okay.
Also, I also don't want to condone like people who don't smoke to get onto nicotine because nicotine does. It's not like there are side effects to it.
Right.
Like
Okay.
there is a big link between nicotine consumption and erectile dysfunction.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. You like
Okay, I'm
just
throwing
Google
it right
like
away.
Zin users and Zin users and ED. It's a
But bro, erectile dysfunction is such a loosely thrown thing. I've heard like everything. Of smoking does it. Smoking,
well,
let's
yeah,
say,
because smoking does it because nicotine does it now.
right? But marijuana, for example, also people say. Alcohol, whiskey, and all people say. I've heard, I've heard from people that sugar also does it, and
Any
so
stimulant.
anything can cause ED. I guess at this point.
Yeah, yeah. No, but like you should look at like when I was researching this, I was like what are the drawbacks of Zin? And like
So
Zin users report having ED. And you can just go on the Zin subreddit and talk to people about having ED.
okay, I think one more the funniest ED things that I've heard was Wi-Fi causes ED, so you should not have your laptop on
Oh my
actual
god.
lap,
Oh,
and using phone causes ED. I think at this point, anything your parents don't want you to do is
causes
something
ED.
that causes ED.
That's a good way of like scaring kids. Like, hey,
uh,
don't this do this or you won't be able to have sex when you grow up.
yeah, I think it's yeah men only, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
That's the Ram band people are like, okay, ED, you won't be able to get it up, bro. It's
uh,
your call.
But if someone does start this business, let me know. I would love to possibly fund this. The
uh,
only thing I would be concerned about is the big tobacco guys are going to be really upset with you. And they are the ones who drove out vaping in India and like drove regulation to make vaping illegal in this country.
but
So,
you're not even anyway fighting with tobacco guys. You're fighting with the filtered
yeah, but
Khaini.
at some level you are fighting with the tobacco guys because
Hmm.
filtered Khaini is tobacco. It is another form of tobacco consumption.
But I don't know. So Kenny and all these products, like they
Yeah.
are very big political donators as well. So
Yes.
I think you're sort of safe in the category,
Okay.
is what I would do.
Okay.
Because these guys make like insane LTV.
Yeah, yeah. Once you're addicted,
Yeah,
you're
it's
the
like, and
customer for life.
plus it's such an easy accessible thing to buy. It's like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
rupees, right?
And you can
Uh,
buy it anywhere.
you can buy it anywhere. So I mean, these businesses essentially they're selling drugs, bro, like
No, they
legalized
are
drugs.
not essentially. They are selling drugs.
Yeah.
It is true.
So it's it's like if a marijuana store opens up in a place where marijuana is not allowed, and now they've just been allowed. I think it'll do well.
Well, marijuana is not. It's by itself not as addictive as nicotine.
I think the reason behind that is because nicotine is available in many
No,
forms
no,
which
no,
are easy.
no. But nicotine is an highly addictive substance. marijuana is not addictive in the same nature. Like
Hmm.
caffeine is addictive,
Hmm.
sugar maybe to some degree is addictive.
Hmm.
Marijuana is not addictive. It just is a stimulant.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it still causes ED, I guess.
Okay. uh,
Addictive or not.
okay.
But
Let's move on to some business ideas that aren't as morally ambiguous.
so, you know that guy from Cal AI, he's all over the place
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. The guy who didn't get into college in America.
Correct. Firstly, did you read his letter? I was
His
like,
his college essay was probably the worst college essay I have read in my life.
I've never written a college essay, and I was like
What?
cringing. Why? Like, you are telling the college that I don't need you,
Yeah,
I don't want to be there. I'll just drop out. Why will a college take you then?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, I think like people are looking for something where like you are super interested in learning and being around young people who want to learn and like really enjoy the college experience to kind of become an adult, and that did not scream I want to go to
yeah,
college and I want to go to
yeah.
this college.
Though there's a bigger topic that why do you even need to write an essay? I guess I've grown up
I
with
don't know.
Jay. I'm like, this is my essay, guys. Multiple choice questions. That's it. But okay,
Yeah, that's
okay,
a
that's a bigger
that's a
different
yeah.
discussion. My point is, I couldn't stop thinking about, okay, what are the other things that has been enabled with AI, and then I was looking for problems that I go through, problems my friends go through, and one thing that sort of popped up, for which I've also spent like maybe 95K or something to find a solution, was notes, right? Like, whenever I'm taking notes for
Yep.
myself, a lot of time you take the notes during the call, so we have like calling solutions and all those things, but a lot of notes are taken by a hand as well. Or I'm talking to you in real life and I'm telling you, and then you sort of write it down, and then later on you sort of do an action around it. So obviously there's a solution for that as well, like Neo Sapiens, for example, kind of a solution which is
Shout
like
out Neo Sapien, my portfolio company.
yeah, Neo Sapiens, and it's like a pendant, right, where
Yep.
it records all the conversation, and then it sort of syncs with an app or something like that.
Yep.
um
You can like replay your conversation and
Correct.
do.
So studies have also shown that you are more likely to sort of remember things, or it's better for you to sort of write them down on a piece of paper versus, let's say, typing it or something like that.
Yep.
And like, anecdotally, I sort of agree,
And
but I don't
I
have.
agree. Like I remember stuff better if I'm like I see when I was well, like in college and in school when I was easiest way for me to remember something was to
Write it down.
actually take notes and like
Yeah.
handwritten notes as opposed to like typing notes.
My problem is that I have these things written in my diary,
Yes.
right? And I want them accessible on my computer
Yes.
for a bunch of things. I want to sort of, let's say, put my notes into CRM. I want to send messages to my team. I want to do anything, right? Like, even I sometimes sort of sketch out some sort of ideas that I then want to sort of convert into something else. I also write, let's say, sometimes I write tweets there, right? But tweets are very small. It's a very small thing. But writing blog posts, for example, also is something that I start with on pen and paper, get an
Yep.
idea out, and then I sort of start typing.
Yeah.
So the thing that I was trying to I want to sort of use
Yep.
is probably a business idea out there in the making.
Yes.
Is that I write notes in my diary, and then there's an app which basically I keep it like this. It sort of records videos or takes photos, whatever. I keep changing pages, and it sort of records, then converts that writing into proper text and stores it in its app, and then gives me access to, so that I can then send that to my CRM, send it to my whatever tool of choice. Like, that's the thing that I want to sort of use, and I think people would. There's a nice opportunity to sort of build a business around it. I don't know if it is VC investable, if it's going to grow like a rocket, but definitely, like, you can build a nice little business around here. I was trying to find out if there are other services that do it, and I found one old service as well. What they do is they ship you a diary every month,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then you write in that diary, and then you ship it back. and they sort of digitize it.
Yeah.
And then
Well, have you also heard about like smart pens and digital pens?
yeah, they're the things I
Yeah.
saw that they're coming up. So you
No, and
start writing and
it's
it
not new. Like I had one, I forget the brand, but I had one in 2007.
what
Yeah. So
what did it do?
it was like this really chunky pen, and there was a camera at the edge, and like whenever and you had a special notebook.
Hmm.
So you would write in this notebook, and the notebook would be a bunch of dots, and the camera would recognize where you are connecting dots
Okay.
and try to recreate the notes you are taking.
Okay.
And the data was stored on this phone, on this pen. You
Hmm.
would connect it to your laptop with a USB stick,
Hmm.
and like upload your notes to your computer. The
Hmm.
things it didn't do at all was it couldn't, like, OCR technology wasn't great at that point, so it couldn't turn it into a Word doc or anything. So you just
Hmm.
had digital representation of notes you took.
Got it. No, so the ones that I'm talking about, they launched in the, what's this, South by Southwest type. There's a
Oh,
big
CES.
CES.
Yeah,
CES. It was launched at CES. So they had like a pen like pen, like not
yeah.
heavy, bulky pen like pen. It had a geometric this thing. What is it called? Accelerometer.
Yeah. Gyroscope.
Gyroscope. It had a gyroscope and a camera,
Okay.
and you can write on any piece of paper, not like a dotted one.
Yeah, yeah.
And whenever you write, it sort of automatically syncs. You can see it on your phone. You write, and it sort of shows up there.
Oh, sorry, accelerometer, not gyroscope.
I I think mixture of both.
Okay,
Okay, so yeah, it's taking signals essentially, and then you can see there that you write shobhit, you sort of see,
okay.
okay, it's sort of come up over there. You have to get that hardware. You need to make sure that you have that hardware all the time. Versus an app that runs on your phone that you can just you can do whiteboarding session, and then on the white after the whiteboarding session, you just take a photo and then you're done, right? Something like that as well can probably work out there. So yeah, I mean, that's the big idea that I have. Essentially, we have all the technology now. We have like vision AI, we have vision to text. Obviously we can do that. We can understand that text, and then we can classify those text. We can then, once classifies, we can use sort of an MCP kind of an architecture where we can then store it into whatever tools you want,
Yeah,
right?
you can
Or
upload it to Notion and ask it from wherever, or ask it
correct.
directly from Notion.
Yeah. So this is a business that can be built around this. This is like a, I don't know if it has enterprise use case. It definitely has a
Okay.
B2C element
Yeah.
though. Will it be like a big business? Nobody knows. But it doesn't seem like a business that needs to be built uh, with a lot of investment.
I mean, like, this is one, like, I don't know if you've seen our latest company called OpenNote, but there's these three college kids who are just about to drop out, building this tool where essentially you take photos of your notes. You
Hmm.
can be in class live recording your lecture, and based on all of this context, you can ask this tool to explain you concepts from class. So the problem has become, like, right now, I mean, I don't know if you used to pay attention in college lectures back in your day, but attention spans has dropped even further, and college kids do not pay attention in class, and they're all
Yeah.
looking at YouTube videos of Indian men in their 40s explaining concepts. So they wanted to bring that into an AI tool. I think your
Right.
tool is kind of on similar tangents,
Hmm.
but like kind of a general purpose. Take notes for work, for to-dos, for whatever,
Yeah.
and have an app
Correct.
that you can kind of query and ask based on.
Yep. Yeah. And once this data source you sort of get, the thing is, AI is a great force multiplier for your productivity if you are organized,
Yes.
right?
That if is the big statement.
That if is a big statement, and this is a way to sort of get organized, because it's much easier for, I think, most of the people that I know, just to write things down than to type it.
Yeah.
Like when I'm typing, my I feel my creativity go down. I sort of feel it versus when I hold a pen in my hand. That's why I try to fix this with an iPad with a
Okay.
pencil.
Yeah.
I,
That's even worse, I feel.
that's the worst. It
Yeah.
doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
iPad is supposed to have a technology where I write and then it converts that to like proper English. And Apple being Apple, the AI is so bad that literally it's not usable.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No,
I
I
think
tried. Yeah, iPad note taking never has worked for me either.
so. I know a couple of my founder friends who are, let's say, running a company of more than $100 million.
Okay.
Okay, they have EAs to do this.
He is tracking them around, sitting and everything, doing these.
No, so they if they're writing something down, they give it to the EA to type it out.
Oh wow.
So it's not a behavior that is
Yeah,
new.
yeah, yeah. But like EAs are typing this out. EAs are not using some kind of OCR technology to convert it.
EA is like 25K, 30K.
Yeah, but like you would assume a smart EA is able to.
Smart EA might be doing it. Like that person doesn't care what they are doing.
Uh,
They just want their notes,
yeah, yeah, that's true.
right? So yeah, that's one software business idea. There's one Chenny Kenny business idea. That's the range we possess, guys.
Yeah, dude. You don't know what's coming. You never know what kind of business idea is gonna hit you in the face.
Cool. That's our time.
See you guys next week.
Like, share, subscribe, or don't.
Bye.
Bye.